to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
My husband wants to have alcohol in the budget, and I don't. I'm just wondering if you can tell me where that would fit in when we're in baby step 2.
It's not a money argument. You just don't want alcohol in the house.
No, I don't mind him drinking. I just personally never have and don't want to start. But I see it as a good way to cut in the budget to make extra payments onto debt. So it seems like an extra.
Oh, because you're on baby step 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the alcohol budget he is proposing?
He hasn't proposed a budget, but from tracking our expenses, it seems to be about $35 to $40 a week. So to me, that's $160 a month that can go somewhere.
What's your household income?
It ranges between about $225 and $250 every year.
I'm going to say it again. I don't think this is about $35 a week. You make $250,000.
How much debt
I
do you
think
guys
this is
have,
about
Doris?
you don't want alcohol in the house. I don't believe you.
I really don't have an issue with the alcohol. Our debt is pretty high. We have a truck loan, a car loan, a skidoo loan. And then there's also, I guess it's called the home equity loan.
Mm-hmm.
But judging
How
by
much
the
is all
baby
that
steps,
total?
That would fall into. Does the home equity loan fall in with when we pay the mortgage off or with our debt?
Is it more than half your annual income? How much is it?
It's about $100,000.
Okay. It's probably going to be a baby step 6. You may need to refinance and get rid of it. I don't know how it works in Canada. What do you owe on the truck?
$39,500.
What do you owe on the Sea-Doo?
Ski-Doo. We're in Canada. That is about $13,000.
$13,000. And what other consumer debt is there?
Another car.
There is a car, which is about $23,000. And he has a credit card that is solely in his name that he uses like for work and stuff, and that's about $10,000. Now I do know that would fall to us if ever it came due, which is why I count it.
Yeah, It needs to go away. So I think I'm also hearing that it's not just an alcohol budget. Then I may change my mind on this. It sounds like he's not really very engaged. He's just tolerating you doing this.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think
And
that's a
that's
much
what I'm
bigger
looking for ways
problem
to
than $35 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's
Well,
driving a
something
truck he
like
can't
cars,
afford.
if
He's
you-
driving a truck he can't afford, and you got a toy in the garage you owe $12,000 on. And he's just kind of like, well, whatever you want to do, honey, it's okay. And you're like, I got to get rid of this debt. You're leaning in, and he's kind of hanging on the outside, just watching, hoping you'll get over this fever you got.
Yes.
While he's enjoying a beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Sipping a beer on the back porch, hoping you'll get over this. Yeah. So I think all of that is much more important than $35 a week for beer. If he was completely engaged, he's like, hey, I probably need to sell this Ski-Doo. I probably need to do this. I may need to think about selling the truck, or we've got to really tighten up on everything and lean into this. Then the $35 wouldn't bother me, but I think it's symptomatic of his lack of intensity on this. Or lack of involvement with you, and I want him to support you overall a lot more than that. And maybe it's you don't want alcohol in the house. Maybe you're just trying to poke him a little bit to get him.
Oh,
You're like a little revenge here. Like, oh, you're not gonna get involved. I'm taking your beer.
kind of like a husband, like she can't get her hair and nails done anymore. You know, we're trying to cut that out.
Yeah, we're gonna cut out the $3 for something. No, that's not the issue. The issue is you guys need to sit down and talk about how this is stressing you out. And honey, I know it's not stressing you out, and that's why the alcohol thing comes up, because I really need you to understand and to plug in with me on getting these other debts paid off. And if I can get that, $35 a week won't matter.
Yeah, I would rather have you in this process, right? Like,
yeah, that's $5,000 a month is what that is. Getting him involved, and so you stop your long-term investing, you stop eating out, you stop going on vacation. You look at if you need to sell something. If you can't pay it off fast, you need to sell it, and that kind of stuff, and you're both agreed that this is the best way for us to have a high-quality future. We make too much money to be this broke. The plan we've been using sucks. We need a new plan, honey. That's what I've been trying to get you to do. And it all landed on the beer issue, and it's not really a beer issue.
Yeah.
That's okay. So it's a little different conclusion. I jumped to conclusions, and I was wrong at the first.
Yeah, and we have couples on the debt-free stage all the time. And we talk about their journey, and there's always kind of the one nerd, and they're like, she was really intense, or he was, and but the idea is like there may still be one that's like super, super, super nerding out on all the numbers and so intense, and they would do nothing but literally eat rice and beans. And the other one, may not be as intense, but they're along for the journey. Like, we are locking arms and we're doing this. So just couples out there, as you're working together, you may not be at the exact same personality type and level, but you're going in the same direction, right? And in these big moves, especially selling assets like cars and all of that, you have to be on the same page with all of that, right?
Yeah.
To make those big moves. So it's hard.
To make the kind of progress that goes with that.
Yes, totally.
It's for you spouses that are out there, if you happen to be listening to this, if you're standing on the edge watching your spouse be intense on the inside, you're disrespecting them. This is someone you love, and it means a lot to them to work on this. You don't have to go as crazy as they are, but you need to get off the edge and get both feet in the boat. Even if you're not going to row as hard as they're rowing, you need to be on, because it's disrespectful. And that's what she's facing. So I was picking on you earlier, Doris, and I was wrong about that, about your reason for doing this. But I think your real reason is actually a better one. But I'm not going to give you a ruling on the alcohol. I'm going to give you a ruling on the husband on the fringe. And then the alcohol will solve itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where we'll go from there. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Guys, we have found, we did the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America. We ended up studying 10,167 of them. 80% of them are married. Only 46% of the public is married. So millionaires have a propensity towards being married. And of the millionaires that we studied, the vast majority are married. And the vast majority say, my spouse and I worked on this together. My spouse was my teammate, not an impediment towards wealth building. We agreed to some level to where we were all rowing the same direction,
heading in the same way.
And the boat goes a lot easier when you're doing that. And we're on the same page. And my spouse was a blessing. And those kinds of comments are all through the notes on this research. And so that's what we find. It's a high database. The data says it's a higher probability of building wealth in those situations.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
What's up, Dylan? How we doing?
Hey, I just had a quick question for you both. I'm assuming, John, you'll be able to answer this a little better, but you might.
Hey, Jade is way smarter than me.
We'll see how it goes. So it would seem that my mom is boycotting my rehearsal and my rehearsal dinner because I changed a small plan.
I don't know. I might be able to answer this one because I know about that.
Dude, I'm laughing with you, man. What'd you do, Richard? What did you change that was so bad?
So I'll run it quick. So, back months ago when we gave them the opportunity to kind of plan the dinner, it's not what we wanted originally. We told them, we just wanted to have pizza and go back to the Airbnb and just have a good time with the bridal party. Well, my mom absolutely insisted on paying for this and making, a big dinner, and we go out and all this and that. And obviously, listening to you guys, I try to save as much money as possible, but she wasn't on board with that. And, I gave her the opportunity for months and months and months. And a few days ago, I talked to her and told her, I'm like, hey, we're really thinking about switching back to our original plan. And I was like, I'll give you a few days to figure it out. Well, I just waited one day, and I was like, you know what? I should do what I really want to do. It's my special day, and of course my fiance's too, but And I decided, I'm like, hey, this is what we're going to do instead.
So
and,
I didn't see this coming.
But
I didn't see this coming, but I want to lean on you a little bit and you push back, okay?
of course.
Why would you take this from your mom? It's like a dinner that she's paying for.
Well, just because it's originally not what we wanted. And I should add to this too. She started inviting a bunch of people that we didn't want there.
There it is.
There we go. Okay.
Well,
And-
that too.
Lead with that, brother. Lead with that, because that changes the game.
But that wasn't the biggest issue. I don't think it's that she didn't really respect that we originally wanted to do something else.
Sure.
That's how I took it.
Dylan, is there strings attached to this?
As in,
I'm doing this for you, so somewhere down the line, there's going to be an expectation of something I want from you.
I'm not going to go as far as that, but it's not
Yes,
a possibility.
Oh,
Yes.
I know about it.
All right, so here's the deal. This is as heartbreaking and complicated as this is very, very simple. You made a grown-up choice. And with all grown-up choices, there always comes grown-up consequences to those choices. Unfortunately, your mom is choosing to act like a child. And I mean that with all due respect. I don't like talking about people's mamas, but here we are.
Oh, I've said it a few times.
Right. So one of the hardest things I think any of us will experience is when somebody we love opts out of relationship with us because they're choosing to be immature, because they are making our whatever, how we're raising our kid, what school our kid goes to, our choice of diet, our whatever you want to say. They make our lives about them.
Yeah.
And she is choosing to not be in relationship with you and your wife during your big day. And that just hurts. And so it's a both and. I want you to spend time, even just for a few minutes, saying like, this sucks, man. I want my mom at my wedding. I hate that she's acting like this. And you and I both know she acts like this on other things too. This isn't isolated, right?
No, not at all.
Awesome.
And can I add something?
Of course.
She's going to come to your dinner.
Well,
I think she's going to come.
I'm hoping.
So I would write her a letter.
So bad.
Hey, I would write her a letter that she can go back to over and over and over again, and say it would mean the world to us that you come. I know that you wanted a big thing, and I'm so grateful that you're honoring us to this one. We really want you here.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that she won't even come to the rehearsal, which is the worst part to me. I'm okay if she didn't want to come to the dinner.
She's saying that. She's saying that, and I don't know her, so I may be totally off base. I think that this is her last-ditch effort to get her way on this. And I would probably be willing to put I put some chips on the table on this, that she's going to end up there. I don't think she's going to miss her son's major days over this. Now, maybe I don't know her, and I'm completely wrong, but something tells me that when the rubber hits the road, she's going to be there.
What about your old man? Have you talked to him about it?
Yeah, I actually spoke to him today, and he just initially, it's first time. Also, keep in mind, my mother won't talk to me at all. She will not talk to me.
Of course. Well, you ruined her life, jerk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're ripping her heart out.
But I did speak to my dad this morning, and he was saying that she just feels hurt, and it doesn't have anything to do with the dinner, which I don't believe, because this kind of stuff has happened before, where she doesn't get her way, and this, which I don't believe. But
well, he's probably been covering her for a long time too, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, obviously, he has to take her side in most cases, and I don't blame him. Yeah. But I spoke to him, and
so if she won't talk to you, the best I can tell you is what I would do in your situation, and that would be I would write a letter, and I would do my best to deliver it by hand. If y'all live in the same community, put it in her mailbox by hand.
I was at her house yesterday.
Okay, and let her have something. Because listen, if you call her, if you text her, she is going to hear that one time through her filter of Dylan is trying to ruin my life.
Yeah.
And Dylan's going to embarrass me because I'm in charge of the dinner, and everyone's going to ask me why I just did pizza, and it's all about her. But if you write it down, people can go back to the letter and back to it and back to it. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes that truth has a way of distilling itself down, and she can rest in, he wants me there. Him and his wife are just trying to do things a little bit differently. It's not about me, etc. And you hope that's the case. It's not, but we all have family.
That's what I'm hoping, but that's a great idea.
And tell your dad, we really, really want both of y'all there.
Oh, I told him that. I told him that this morning when I spoke to him. Like, if the worst case scenario happens, I'm like, please, Dad, be at my wedding.
Yes.
Like, at the very least.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, so. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. But
I hate it for you.
Yeah.
I hate it for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, though. But, yeah, that was pretty much it. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I don't get to, it's not every day I get to talk to somebody who just willy-nilly rips his mom's heart out, right, Jade?
Dude, look, when it comes to these weddings, it's like that. Like, if I had done what all the parents had wanted, I would have been married in a different state. I would have gotten married on a different date. I would have gotten married, in a different dress. Like, they all have their preferences, but at the end of the day, it's your day.
It's your thing. And sometimes it's just a dinner. Do the dinner. But if it is that big of a deal, you made a grown-up choice, and that comes with grown-up consequences.
That's right.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So my car engine went out last October, and it took a few months to get my vehicle back because it actually broke down when I was evacuating for the hurricane. And in the meantime, my parents floated a rental car, and then I ended up losing my job.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they said my parents ended up helping out, and what they ended up doing was taking out a HELOC on their house to cover that and a few other things, and I wasn't aware of this until afterwards. But they're the kind of people where strings are attached, and I'm just trying to figure out if I should be debt snowballing this, which would make it the second to last debt to be paid off, or if I should be prioritizing it because it's on their house.
That's a great question.
How much is it? How much is this HELOC?
So my portion of it is about $11,500.
That right there, what you just said, tells me all I needed to know. $11,500 just for kicks and giggles. Tell me how much the other portion is and who got that.
I don't know because they didn't tell me.
Do you want to know what I think? Very briefly. I think they wanted to take out a HELOC, and I think you gave them a good excuse to do it.
And I think I would treat this like the IRS and put it at the very top and pay this off as fast as humanly possible.
Uh-huh.
How much are you putting towards debt every month?
So I actually just found you guys a little over a month ago, and I just finished baby step 1.
Welcome
so
to the cult.
Put together a big
Welcome.
Thanks.
We'll send you some Kool-Aid in the mail.
Oh, cool.
I'm just kidding. We won't, but it's cool. All right. So you just finished baby step 1, and then what?
So I have this big spreadsheet I have with all of my debts and the payments and what's owed and interest and all that.
How much per month?
So.
How much per month are you able to put towards debt?
So they wanted me to pay about $300 monthly. So I've been actually paying them weekly because I get paid weekly.
Your parents?
To pay back my portion of it, yes.
Okay, you know what I would do? Jade, stop me if I'm wrong. I would go down to a local credit union and take out a loan for $11,500, and I would write them a check. I would rather you owe credit union than that.
For that.
You can't do that?
That's why they ended up helping out in the first place. I'm coming out of a bad marriage where a lot of bad decisions were made.
Then let me just say this. So there's part of this that's on you, and then there's part of it that isn't, in the way of they saw you needed help and they said, we'll help. They chose to take out debt to do it. That wasn't your choice. You didn't say, Mom, Dad, go take out a HELOC because I need the money and you need to risk your house for me. You didn't say that, right?
Correct.
How did it happen that you got the money? Did you ask for it even, or did they just see you needed it and gave it to you?
I never saw the money. My dad and his friend ended up going and collecting the car because the dealership was actually avoiding us because it was 4 hours away. So he ended up going and collecting the car and dropping it off at one of his friends who's a mechanic, and the money went straight from them to him.
This sounds super shady.
It really does.
Is your dad trustworthy?
So when it comes to this kind of stuff, yes.
Okay.
So how bad would, dude, my wife just wrecked our car. And it was awesome. She wasn't even drinking. She just crashed it. It was like just ran it down the side of a concrete pillar. And I said that she never drinks. But the whole repair was about $11,000. Every panel had for that kind of repair from a buddy, from a friend. I'm calling no way.
Yeah, I was not happy with it, and I haven't been back to him for services.
No. That's your dad's friend.
But my thing is, did you even know they were doing that? And did you approve it? Or they just up and did it?
He said he was going to help me. He wasn't specific.
Yeah, that's not helping
I was in a really
you.
bad place because I had no income.
And this is my theory.
I have a 3-year-old.
But that's my theory. That's the point that I was trying to make is if you said, hey, there's strings attached. If they put those strings on there, that's on them. You did not tell your dad to do any of this. You didn't tell him to take out a HELOC. You didn't tell him to spend $11,500. You had very little say in what took place. Now, they took out a HELOC clearly for more. Who knows what they did with that, but that was their choice. And now they're like, man, this is kind of heavy on us. We want this money.
Yeah, now you're an ATM machine.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're pressing you, hey, $300, whatever it is that they want.
I totally retract what I said. They go in the baby steps order. What's the minimum payment on that loan?
So the monthly payment for it is $238.34.
How'd you get at that number?
Mm-hmm.
I put it through a loan amortization schedule based on my amount and the interest rate and what the payments I was planning on making.
Great. Tell them you'll pay them $238, and that's a minimum payment, and put in the debt snowball.
Mm-hmm.
I retract what I said earlier.
By the way, what's the interest? Is this the interest you came up with, or they're charging you interest?
So it was originally 8%, but it just went down to 7.5%.
That's the interest on the HELOC?
Yes.
And I'm wondering about that because they took out a greater amount for this HELOC. And I don't feel like it's, ooh, girl.
I'm telling you, we just take these calls for a living.
I know that because I saw a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
You saw a receipt for what?
I saw a receipt sitting on a table that I shouldn't have.
What's the total HELOC?
I know it was for more.
So what's the total?
Like 30.
See, I just don't. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because it's the only way I know how to keep it. In my mind, there's no way I'm paying interest on this.
Yeah.
There's no way because I'm going, hey, Dad, love you, but you did this. I never approved this message. I never said go into debt. I certainly never said go 11,500 into debt. I certainly never said, and please do it at 8%. You did that, and on the one hand, I'm grateful that you went to fix my car, but on the other hand, I'm grateful that you kind of tied my hands behind my back, and now I'm on the hook for something that I don't know if I would have done that. And now I'm feeling the pressure, and that's unfortunate because we're family and we love each other. I'm going to pay you back this $11,500. I'm not going to pay it back at 8% interest because I would not
take the loan out.
I would not have told you to go into debt to do this if you had asked me. That's what Jade Warshaw would do. You and your dad, you know the dynamic. But if you're asking my advice, that's mine. John, what would you do?
The other thing I would do is I would ask, I would call the mechanic and ask for an itemized receipt because I want to see.
I did see the receipt. I have it in a packet for my car care.
And they did $11,500 worth of work for a friend.
So about 6,600 was the engine, and then the rest was labor and taxes.
Ooh. I tell you what, I'm not questioning that part so much. Maybe I don't know enough about cars to question that part, but I am questioning the way it all went down.
Yeah.
I don't,
Help get your kid a $1,500 used Camry with 300,000 miles on it to get you from A to B.
Yeah.
You don't take out $11,000 loan at 8% interest and then haggle your single mother daughter over it. That's what you don't do.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I was wondering, my stepdad is in his 80s and my mom is in her 60s, and he is likely to pass before her. But through their prenup, he will not be leaving her anything, and she is not that well off. I was wondering if that's right or not.
How long have they been married?
5 years.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's what she signed up for. So it's not
Right.
morally wrong. But I would come down on the side of I wouldn't do that to my wife. So,
Right. I don't think she needs to be treated as like one of his kids equally, maybe, but maybe to leave her something so that she's not a destitute widow.
yeah. Well, they've been married. They've been married for how long?
5 years.
Okay, so she's 60 and she was 55. She had no money when she was 55.
She has no savings.
She went
She'll have
into
a
this. She
pension.
went into this marriage destitute.
Pretty much.
Well, then she's not net destitute now. She would be pretty much now, unless she spent that money or something. What'd she do with it?
Well, it's all wrapped up in her house.
Okay,
Well,
wait a minute. She owns a house.
Right, but she's going to have to sell that eventually. The only reason that she's still in it is because he doesn't want to move right now.
So they live in her house?
Hey, sorry for the interruption. This is important. No one likes to think about dying, but one day your family will have to deal with everything you leave behind. So the question is, will it be easy or a total nightmare? That's where Knockbox comes in. Knockbox is a kit with 15 categories and clear instructions that give your family an organized plan, so they're not sifting through old paperwork and guessing passwords and dealing with lawyers. So leave your family memories instead of a mess. Grab your Knockbox kit today at knockbox.com/Ramsey for the best discount available. That's knockbox.com/Ramsey.
So they live in her house?
Correct.
Okay. And his assets have been supporting that.
A lot of it, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So because she can't afford to live there without him.
Correct.
Okay. How was she affording to live there before him?
That's why she has no savings. She wiped it out staying in that house, I think.
Okay. All right.
Did your dad leave or pass away?
They got divorced.
They got divorced. Okay.
Yeah. So she held onto a house, kept a house she couldn't afford all that time, and
She said
drained
she was
herself
gonna keep it
down.
till we were out
Yeah.
of high school, but she
Yeah.
never got rid of it after we left.
Yeah. She drained herself down. Okay. So I can go back to being on the side of I want him to leave or something, but I also want you to reframe this in your mind. She's not destitute. She owns a house. So you need to quit saying that. And she can sell the
not
house
paid
and she
off.
can have a life. And if she doesn't have any money, it's because she never handled the money right to start with, not because of him.
Hmm.
The fact that she's not set up okay at this stage of the game is her fault, not his.
I agree with that.
Okay, so let's not make him a villain in this, because it was a little bit felt that way for a minute. I was getting ready to call him a villain for a second there, but I'm not. So now, and so she signed up and said, okay, prenup is I keep my house, you move in, we do expenses, you cover expenses or whatever, but whatever wealth you have attained will go to your children upon your death, and you're 20 years older than me, so you will probably predecease me statistically. So that's the deal they signed up for 5 years ago.
Hmm.
Okay.
Are his kids gonna sue her for his part of that house?
Now, he doesn't have any part of that house. It was hers before they got married. The prenup says
Right.
she keeps her house.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
But he's paying into it. He's paying the bills.
yeah, but she's not going to have that anymore, so she'll have to sell the house.
Okay.
And she's 60 years old. So what's the house worth?
Probably $700,000.
Is it paid for?
No, she owes $250,000.
Okay. All right.
Do you not like this guy?
No, I just don't think that she's getting the full benefits of a marriage by not having financial security if he were to leave. I mean, she would have to change her lifestyle completely and probably.
But she was
be a
going to
lot
anyway.
higher.
She was going to have to anyway.
I guess so, yes.
Yeah. Because what she was doing wasn't sustainable. You already said that, right?
Right.
Before this guy. So
Right.
she was getting ready to have to change her lifestyle anyway. So the fact that he came along actually extended her ability to stay in a property that she couldn't afford is all it is. So, yeah, I if I'm in his shoes, I would want to make sure she was better taken care of than what you're describing. So I agree with your sentiment on that. you're asking this as a question, but you're really making a statement, and I'm okay with both. So, I would, if I was in his shoes. Now, if I'm not in his shoes and I put on her shoes, this is the trip she signed up for. And so she needs to start making plans now to be ready to sell that house when he dies.
Mm-hmm.
And move to a property that she can pay cash for with the equity of the house. Hopefully he lives a few more years and the house is worth $1 million and the debt goes down. And so she's going to clear $800 instead of clearing $500 like she would today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if every year he lives, the debt goes down, the house goes up. So her asset is increasing in value, and her livelihood, which is her entire livelihood. I assume she's not working.
Correct.
Okay.
And she's going to have to change that because she's got this looming math problem over her head.
Oh, she just changes the perception of when he dies, the house is sold.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer he lives, the more money that means for her. Because the house is going to go up in value, the debt's going to go down. Because this is the deal she signed up for.
But you don't think she needs to get a job now too?
Yeah, she probably should.
Start socking some money away.
Yeah, she's 60 years old. Go work 5 years and put a couple $100,000 in the bank in a 401k, and then when he dies, you're okay. And if he doesn't want her to go to work, then he needs to change his will. His prenup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If he needs to stay home, she needs to stay home and take care of me. I'm old. Okay, cool. Then you need to change your will. And the caretaking is going to cost you some money, buddy. Because otherwise I don't have a sustainable thing because I signed up for a deal. You signed up. We both signed up for a deal here with our eyes wide open. That's a bad deal. Yeah. Yeah, the prenup is different than the will too, by the way.
Right.
So prenup would not, but the prenup probably addresses the will. Mm-hmm. But in terms of prenup would be not upon death, it would be upon divorce. The will actually would be the dictating document. But yeah, I would want to say if I was married, something happened to Sharon, I got remarried, that I would want that person to be taken care of, and I would assume that my children, if I marry a lady, it means I love her, that my children would want her to be taken care of.
Right. But not to have the full extent of
that's fine. Yeah, he didn't have to get a full half cut or a
the
full
Ramsey.
cut.
Yeah. The fortune, right?
No,
not gonna do that, but
absolutely not.
Yeah, make sure she's okay. But also, again, man, I always hate talking bad about somebody's mom. So don't hear me talk about her, but she has a pattern of pushing off reality,
kicking the can down the road.
And like we were talking about earlier in this show, like it's that conflict will come up, and it's just going to be, she's going to be 75 and he dies at 95 and she'll have nothing, and then she won't be able to just go get a job like you might be able to when you're 60.
Yeah, I would go create an income right now.
Yeah.
And I would start.
That was my mom.
I would have go through the mental exercise of, if he dies this year, what is my plan?
There you go.
And if he dies next year, what is my plan? And it sounds like the plan is you're going to be selling the house.
Well, no matter what, we're selling that house. But if we have to buy a condo with cash, then maybe we only have $300,000 left or $200,000 left.
Right.
And so we need to have some more money in the account when that day comes.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it is. So I agree with your sentiment that if I were in his shoes, I would want to make sure she was taken care of, and that's Scott's sentiment, and I don't disagree with that. But it doesn't make the guy a villain, because your mom signed up for this.
Right.
This is the deal she signed into.
Yeah.
And she's kicked things down the road. So she needs to come up with a plan to take care of herself, which is what she should have been doing 5 years ago anyway.
Right.
Sustainable situation, because he's not going to be here.
And
he's not leaving or anything.
The calls I'm increasingly getting or from children have 2 young kids or 3 young kids, and their finances are tight, and they're staring down the barrel of a parent or parents who just refuse to acknowledge reality, and they're starting to say, I see myself becoming a caretaker, like the train's coming at me, and mom and dad won't do anything about it.
Sandwich generation, stuck between my kids and my parents.
Yeah.
That's the money going both directions. Yeah. So that's a problem. But I think the way you deal, I think it's a real good idea, since they were so smart to put everything on paper up front. Let's just go ahead and talk about the implications of that. Mom, he dies, you're selling the house. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My wife, for the last 2 years, has wanted to get a mommy makeover. And I haven't heard an answer to this question yet, so I figured I'd give you guys a shot. We collectively make about $180,000 a year. We have two businesses that we own and operate. And last year, we jumped on we completed Financial Peace University, and we paid off $25,000 worth of debt that we had.
Way to go.
Thank you. Let's see. We cut up all our credit cards, and we have a net worth of about $950,000.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's been a hard road, but last year I decided to spend some of my free time working more and open up a handyman business, and I added about $75K on top of our regular income last year.
Way to go.
So is that on top of the 180, or that's what you're at now?
That's on top of the 180K.
Wow, good job.
So you upped it to 250. Is that sustainable? Do you want to continue doing that?
I turned 42 in March, and I want to kind of work hard in my 40s, so hopefully it pays off, and we can retire when we want to sell the businesses in our home and get out of Washington.
Sure.
Good.
So,
what's your question today?
How much is the mommy makeover?
It's somewhere between 28 and 35,000, and I have about 50K set aside on top of our
emergency fund.
Emergency fund. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that what you earmarked it for? The 50,000? Is that what you guys said this money is for, or was it originally for something else?
No, we've been putting it away for this, as well as I have a daughter in college, and that our responsibility for her is about $14,000 per year, and we've been paying that, in full in cash when it comes about. And my son just got braces and paid that in cash. And
so you're cash flowing everything. There's no worry about the future and retirement and kids' college, and you've got some extra money, and you want to do the selective surgery for her.
Listen, Mama's getting a new lease on life.
Yeah.
Mama's getting an upgrade.
She is amazing, and she has trouble spending money on herself. And so, I told her I've been putting this money aside, and I want to pay for it for her, and
does she want the surgery, or does she want it, or is this a you thing?
No, she wants it.
Okay,
I'm
just
happy
checking.
With the way she is.
Okay.
She's been going through a health thing and getting herself in shape and changing her diet and all this stuff. So this is kind of the icing on the cake for her.
For the good of the group, and knowing this is a family-friendly show, can you entail what this $35,000 includes?
It would be a tummy tuck.
Okay.
And a lift.
Okay, good.
Got it.
Good.
Here's the thing. I think guys do more to their forerunners and spend more on that. So I got no problem with the selective surgery for all the guys. But I can't believe she spent all that. Listen, bro. Let's talk about that underlight LED kit you needed to have.
Live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else. That's what it's about.
Right. I want her to be happy with her body and happy with herself, and I think that she deserves this so much. So
yeah, I think you can afford it. You guys have been really smart with your money. Congratulations. You guys are young and you've done a lot. And my only question would be, are you guys done having babies?
We are.
Okay.
Yes. No more babies for us. We got.
And are you having the elective surgery?
No, I spend my money. My play money goes to cars.
Got you. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you guys have done really well. You're doing it by the book. You guys are debt-free with the emergency fund. You're cash flowing everything in your life. You're on the verge of being a baby steps millionaire. And so this might be a shock to a lot of people listening. I can't believe they said listen.
Do it.
We never said don't spend money. I'm a frugal guy, but once you hit that different place financially, they make a great income.
Yeah.
It's a small part of their world, and they're super young.
Yeah, I love it for them. That's a really, really good treat that they get to enjoy because they've done everything right.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. We did a fabulously attended free live stream on real estate. Interest rates had not yet climbed to where they are now. But the COVID rush, the Fauci pandemic quarantine rush had eased, and the real estate market was cooling off because interest rates had ticked up, and people were freaking out, acting like the real estate market was going to crash and that prices were going to go down. I'll just wait till prices go down, and we were addressing that. We had this big podcast. You were, of course, here. You were still in your first few months with us at that point. And it was very successful. We had, I think, a couple of 100,000 folks watch that view, or watch that live stream. I called it a podcast. Watch that live stream. And in it, we went through the details of the real estate situation and explained very carefully how dramatically the supply of housing is below the demand. And that anytime there is a demand for anything that is higher than the supply, if you took economics in the 7th grade, they taught you that that means the prices will go up. When demand exceeds supply, prices will go up. The more demand exceeds supply, the more prices will go up. As long as that is the perception in the market, then its prices are going to go up. That's what's going to happen. And so we told you house prices are not going to tank. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to go up in 2023 about 7%. Now, at that time, we had two types of house prices floating around. We had the people that had priced their house way high and unrealistically, hoping to catch a sucker. Because there were a bunch of suckers out there buying property for anything and everything way above appraisal.
Yes.
Okay? That is not an actual price. That's a sucker.
Yes.
That's not a price. And so and then there were people that had priced their homes at or around appraisal. We were not talking about sucker prices. We were talking about appraisal prices are not going to come down. We said you can expect to see people calling prices going down, but really what it is, it's the asking price that's going down because people quit fishing for suckers.
That's
okay?
right.
And they get more realistic, and you're going to expect to see, instead of 8 minutes time on the market, you can expect 80 or 90 days time on the market, which has been typical for the last 50 years in the real estate market. That you mow the grass, you trim the bushes, you paint the kids' weird bedroom, and you vacuum and you steam clean, and you clean out the garage and you clean out the closets and you put fresh light bulbs in and you put your house on the market at a good price based on what your good, competent real estate agent tells you to put it on at, and it will sell in 80 to 90 days. For the last 50 years, with rare exceptions.
Keyword competent.
Yeah. And then, keyword competent and keyword that you priced it properly.
That's right.
Okay. So we told you a year ago that you're not going to see house prices going to go down. We think they're going to go up around 7%. They went up 27% the year before, but that was based on the Fauci pandemic quarantine. So, the people came out of their houses after that quarantine like a Baptist after a casserole, and buying stuff left and right. And so they went crazy. And it jammed up supply demand on everything. We called it supply chain. And all it was people were buying like nuts, man. And so now
the Wall Street Journal
reporting today, home prices aren't falling anymore. After declining on a year-over-year basis for 5 consecutive months, which includes the prices with the suckers that I was talking about, the longest run of declines in 11 years, U.S. house prices rose in July. The surprisingly quick recovery, which really wasn't
Who's
a recovery.
Surprised?
I'm not surprised. Suggests that the residential real estate downturn is turning out to be shorter and shallower than many housing economists expected after mortgage rates soared last year. Scarcity is a big reason.
Yeah.
Supply shortage. Hello.
Yeah.
High interest rates have prompted homeowners to stay put rather than buy new homes and take on more expensive mortgages, resulting in an unusually low inventory of homes for sale. No, honey, there was already a lower inventory than there was demand. Now it's even worse because demand has even slowed because of interest rates. Prices are generally holding firm outside of a few trouble spots. The national median existing home price rose 1.9% in July. It's almost 2% in 1 month.
Sheesh.
If you annualize that, that's 24. I don't think we're going to see that.
Yeah.
But even in a market where demand has been hammered by higher rates, the supply just isn't there, says the chief economist at KPMG. Short of a flood in supply, it's hard to see these prices coming down. Now, how would you get a flood in supply? Well, you'd have to see a building boom, and we are seeing quite the opposite. The number of spec homes being built, homes that don't already have a buyer, almost zero.
Wow.
Completely dried up. Builders quit doing them. And so it's the opposite of a flood of supply. There's a flood of shortage that's coming. So you're going to continue to see real estate prices climb. We told you that. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Let's go to Rachel, who's in Spokane, Washington, the city I was born in. What's going on, Rachel?
It's a pretty all right city, I'll say that.
It's great.
Hey.
What can we
thanks
do?
for taking my call. I would love some advice. It's sort of financial related, kind of not my finances, but I am 32 years old, and I'm an independent parent, which means, like, I chose to become a parent by myself after, I was 25, 26, 27, couldn't find anyone. We never aligned with, like, finances or, like, financial ideology or having children. So 3 years ago, I decided to have a child on my own. I love my daughter. She is the best. Oh, my goodness.
Good for you.
I feel like I really made some good decisions, and she's a little older now. She's 4 now. And, a lot of friends and family are always asking me, like, you should start dating soon. Like, why aren't you going on dates? Like, why are you not doing this? And a really big reason, so I'm 32. I don't have any debt. I don't have any credit card debt. I paid off all my loans, credit card debt, car, all that when I was 26, by the time I was 26. And a huge reason is kind of a feeling of, there's the obvious, not just like letting anyone around my daughter, not just like gonna.
For sure.
I don't want to. There's that reason, but the reason I'm calling is that my friend set me up on a date with one of her work friends or something, her husband's work friend, and we were just chatting. He's like, "Well, how do you do it? How do you like single parent? It must be so hard." And I was like, "Oh, well, like I don't live with debt. I like my job. Like it's not really that hard. Like it's hard if you are like if I'm like very financially stable." And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm like $450,000 in debt and like all these things." And he started just kind of naming his. This is my first date with this person.
Wow,
and I was like, "Oh, I know a lot about you." And
what we say not to do on a first date.
I know. Well, at least now you know.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe this is my fault because I was just casually just trying to like keep it lighthearted, like, "Oh, I don't live with debt." But like to me, it's been so long since I've lived with debt that I was like, maybe people just love talking about this. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to my friend. She's like, "Oh, like how'd it go?" I was like, I don't really think this is like for me. And when I was explaining, like, it's not just about introducing someone to my daughter's life. It's also about introducing that whatever, like,
sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to date without the intention of marriage. And
sure.
And I don't know how to explain, and I don't even know if it's wrong to like not give somebody a chance, knowing that we're on totally different pages. And
you
how
get to set your
explain to friends and
non-negotiables.
family.
Listen, you get to set your non-negotiables. You get to have that list of, here are the things that I really, at this point in my life, want to align on. And you get to say what that is. And you also get to reevaluate that with time. Like, listen, you could come up with a list of 5 things. And if you find out that after 10 years, no one is meeting up to your expectations, you get to decide, well, maybe I am being a little too,
right.
Like, maybe, is there anything that I can change? Or is there anything that I'm being a little too judgmental on? And having listen, you guys talked about this really early in the relationship. Had you have dated for 4 months and fallen in love, and then him sprung on the $500,000 of debt or however much it was, listen, you might have married him anyway, like I did. But
yeah. So I think Rachel, I think you have to, I would go into it, and I wouldn't put this, thing out there that if they do have debts, it's an absolute no. And I'm not saying you're saying that, but what's important is the value system, right? So if they came to you and was like, "Oh my gosh, I still have $100,000 of student loan debt and I hate it," I don't want to, I feel this burden. I'm trying to pay it off. Like that's somebody that you're like, okay, I can get on the same team. We are running in the same direction. And I think the same would be true, for a spiritual aspect, how you want to raise kids.
Yeah.
The in-laws and family, like these are big topics in life. And when you marry somebody, those topics collide and you're not always going to be the same person. You're not going to marry the clone of you, right? So you're going to probably always have a different take, a different spin on these things, but the overall direction is what you're looking for. So yeah, I don't think I wouldn't find someone really attractive if he's like, I got $450,000 in debt and I'm about to go buy another property and keep leveraging myself. I'm like, that's great for you, but that's just not attractive to me. Like I can't, and I would say the same thing, lines like that in a spiritual sense or with kids, like, right? There's things that you're just like, we just won't be aligned in life. So I don't think you're being too picky. I would say, if you had called and said, yeah, just because he has debt, I won't date him.
Yeah, that's no.
That I wouldn't say that's I would not go down that route. But
especially if they've been like, and I want to get out of it.
Right. So it's all about where they're going and what the values are going forward. But I think everyone has kind of that one subject in life that they're really passionate about with the other person, right? And so naturally yours might be money, Rachel, not from a shallow perspective, but something that you really cherish your convictions and you really want to partner in this. And I think that's big.
The thing to consider, especially with the debt aspect of this, is let's just say, you've gone on 4 or 5 dates and it comes up at Applebee's and you start talking about it. Remember, there's still time. Like, you're not getting married tomorrow. So if this guy has $60,000 of debt, there's time for him to pay that off before you get married. Like, does that make sense? Like, if you're really feeling some type of way of like, man, I really sacrificed to pay off my debt. I don't know if I have the stomach to go through another 60,000. Just think about the fact that there's still a timeline. Like, you're not getting married tomorrow, and you'll be able to see if this person really does show and prove what their values are, because are they actively trying to get out of debt? It has 8 months passed and they've paid off nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to see that come out in the wash. So I wouldn't get too hung up on it within, the first few days or even the first few months necessarily if you're on the fence. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, I think that something was just like a bit of a flag. He was like, "Oh, I have all this money." He's like, "But the government's going to cancel student debt, so that's fine." I was
no, red flag for sure.
No. I feel like that for me. So maybe I should have added that. And I was like, okay, there's one thing to like know you're at least. Some people don't even know how much money they're in debt, but I felt really bad. I was like, I felt really shallow, and I know that it's one thing to ask for someone to not be in debt, but this is great advice. Thank you. No, I just walked away. I was like, I have no idea how I feel about this right now.
And I think give yourself some grace too, because $450,000.
It's a lot of money.
Even if he's trying to get out, that is it's kind of a, especially if it doesn't include a mortgage, that's a breathtaking number. So I think that's fair that you're like, oh gosh, like that is a lot of debt. And so no, I don't think you're being too judgmental. I wouldn't count someone out just because they have debt. It's all about the value system and where they're going moving forward. And could you see yourself with them in the future, right? If they're walking that. But that's separate. And Rachel's you're a very, to do what you've done, even with a child, like what was she 30 years old? And so, all of that, like that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you've made choices in life that are very mature. And you've taken on a lot of responsibility in life. And so I do think your husband has a high bar, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Hey, in the chat, I would love when people get a chance to put their thoughts on this in the chat, like what your non-negotiable is.
Like dating.
Yeah, and we can talk about it at some point because, listen, after paying off the debt that we paid off, if God forbid something happened to Sam Warshaw and I had to get out there in these streets, if somebody came at me, I don't know if I could do stomach
again. It was just
even so like 30K would be like, no. So everybody's got their limits.
That's fair, Jade.
I'd be interested to know what you guys think about this. Throw it in the chats.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
We have Claudia in Detroit to start us off. Hey, Claudia, welcome to the show.
Hi there. I want you to know I realize I have learned much from you and your father. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. How can we help today?
And George, I'm not ignoring you. I've
Oh, it's fine. I was just enjoying the sentimental moment between you guys. I love it. How can we help?
Here's my dilemma. My mother's 84. She has an $86,000 interest-only loan on her home. I've been trying to help her since my dad passed 6 years ago to really be tight on everything. She is tight. She is not a spendthrift, but the numbers are hard. And, with an interest only, the variable rate, we knew it was coming, right? We knew it was going to raise. I checked into last year trying to get it refinanced, and the problem was she couldn't afford a traditional payment of a true mortgage. So my question is, should I take money out of my mutual fund to pay it off? Assuming that then, of course, I would first cash out my emergency fund and the savings we have. Sorry, but you can imagine this is emotional.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I don't really know, what would be the tax ramifications for me? Like, if I take that money out, then where do I go from there? Is that going to affect me? I talked to her today. I said, Mom, I could, you and I could do DoorDash where I'm truly doing it, but I'm driving and she's with me. So she's going to have it on her income level, right? Mm-hmm. She's 84.
Yeah.
I've got 3 brothers. They all help. They all are very good. We're united, but at the same time, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what's the smartest thing.
I'm so sorry, Claudia. Well, number one, putting yourself in a terrible financial position is not the solution. So we have to find more options here. You looked into refinancing. Could we downsize her? Is there an apartment or condo that we could move her into with a much more reasonable mortgage that then maybe the kids can help with?
You couldn't find anything cheaper than what she's paying in the interest only. I mean, right now it's even though it went up, it's $438. It went from $274 in January to now $438. But obviously, they raised rates again yesterday. So
the problem is with the interest-only mortgage, she's never going to touch the principal.
Yeah, believe me, I know that.
So it seems like it's a good number, but we're not making any progress at all.
How is she eating, Claudia? Where is she getting? Where does she have money to live off of?
Social Security and a very small, $260 pension.
Okay.
So what does that add up to per month?
So we're talking $25.50 a month.
Okay.
What other bills does she have?
So she does have the car, and I tried to not get her into a new lease, but we couldn't find something that would work for her. And,
how often is she driving around at 84?
Every day. I would say she goes somewhere every day,
Like doctor or grocery store or hanging out with friends? What's she doing?
Church, right. Grocery store, doctor, church. She goes and walks. She's very conscious about staying as healthy as she can and active.
I think we got to get out of this lease. Does she have any other debt?
No other debt.
Okay. What if the kids could scrape together and buy her a used car and we get out of this lease situation to free up some of that income and see what she could afford then as far as housing?
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. I wish we would have done it before she took the new one, but yeah, that might work.
Because at this point, we can't just let her do whatever she wants while we finance it because she's broke. And so this
and she's not that way. I mean, my parents are godly people, but they had a major flaw in money, and they laid up treasure for us in heaven where it will never be destroyed. And I get totally what you're saying. There's no excuse making going on here, but
taking out a lease at 84 is not helping anyone, especially herself. Does she know that this lease is hurting her?
Yeah, I don't think you wouldn't be able to have a conversation without her knowing that. Yeah, she knows they screwed up major on finances.
That's okay. We're not here to shame her. I'm just here to help her get out of this lease to free up her income because that payment could be helping her afford housing.
Right.
So what is that payment every month?
The lease payment is, let's see here. That'd be $314 a month.
So that extra $314 coming in every month, would that help her afford a mortgage?
we switch to a conventional mortgage?
It was over $1,100 when I did it last fall when rates were lower.
What is the mortgage size?
$86,000.
What's the equity in the home? If she sold it today, how much could she sell it for today?
On Zillow, it says $130. I would say we clear it by $120 for sure. That's what I say.
Man, Claudia, I mean, just given her situation, everything, how terrible this mortgage is. I mean, I would be tempted just to sell, get her out, and free up her life out of this terrible mortgage. Fix the car situation, and then look to see, what is something just, and again, she's in her early 80s, so she still could have a great 10 years left, right? Another decade if she's healthy. So finding something for, we have 10 years left, just as a math equation to look to see, what's a small condo, nothing fancy, anything.
An in-law suite with one of the kids, if she's able-bodied,
yes,
she's driving around.
Because Claudia, yes, cashing out any retirement on your end would not be smart. Wiping out your emergency fund and putting your family at risk, which is so generous, and I hear your heart in it, is so good, but it doesn't help the situation because she's still going to have this terrible loan still attached to her that she's going to have to make payments on, but it's not even hitting the principal. So if I were her and you guys, I'd sell everything, the car and the house, get the equity, and go find something small.
Tiffany's in Georgia. We recently completed baby step 3, which means they're out of debt and have their emergency fund in place, except their home. We'll be meeting with a financial advisor soon to start on our baby step 4. We know nothing about investing and feel very clueless. How can we prepare ourselves to be a bit more knowledgeable before our meeting? I would tell you 2 things on that. One is prepare yourself by being very comfortable with the idea that this is your money. It's your money. It's your money. There is no reason for you to ever be embarrassed, ashamed, or afraid to demand that you understand what's going on with your money. See, what's weird is we go into these, we go into this guy or this gal's office, and they've got on a nice tie or a nice dress or whatever, and they have financial advisors plaque sitting on their desk, and we don't know nothing. And so we feel all intimidated, almost ashamed that we don't know anything. But here's the clue. It's your money. You're in charge of this money. God put you in charge of this money. He didn't put me in charge of it, and he didn't put that guy in charge of it. He put you in charge of it. It's your money. And so I don't want you to go in there with your head bowed, ashamed, like, I don't know anything. I want you to go in there going, square shoulder, head up, chin up. It's my money. And they have to earn your business by teaching you something about how to do something with your money that you didn't know before. And if they can't teach you, and the only thing they can do is intimidate you, then what you've got is the wrong person. And it's not your problem, it's their problem. Because you're the customer, and the way they earn your business is by teaching you. So I wouldn't go in there humble. I mean, I wouldn't go in there humiliated. Humble's okay, but humiliated. No, I don't know anything, and I just don't, please help me. No, you can just go in and say, listen, I don't know anything about this stuff. Listen, I own this company, Ramsey Solutions. I sit in some of these technology meetings. I got 200 technology people on our team here, and they use words I have no idea what they're talking about. It's like techno cussing or something. I mean, I don't know what it is. And I go in these meetings, and if I'm supposed to understand what's in the meeting, now sometimes I'm observing the meeting, and I'm not supposed to be in charge, and it's not up to me, and I'm just letting them run in their meeting. I'm not going to interrupt everything based on my ego. But if they're trying to get me to drop $200,000 into a new server or a new program or a new whatever, then it is their job to let me know why I would want to give that much money to that. And if they can't help me do that, then I don't feel ashamed. They should feel ashamed. Because I own the company. And I don't know beans about technology. I know a lot more than I did 2 years ago. But I am no technocrat. I'm starting to know what a few of these things are, the nuances between some of the different things, the basic concepts, because I've had to learn enough about the basic concepts in order to make the investments. And guess what? I got guys here that can teach me the basic concepts because they know all the details. Same thing. You need to know enough about the basic concepts that you can make the decision intelligently on your own. And if they can't help you learn the basic concepts enough, then you've got the wrong person. You should not be intimidated. You don't have to be a bit more knowledgeable before you go in there. All you have to be is remembering whose money it is. It's your money, not their money. And so kind of strut in there a little bit. I own the place. Your job to teach me. Not my job to be beholden to you because you've got 5 letters after your name. Or less. So, that, and do not put money in something. Because Dave Ramsey said to. Do not put money in something because somebody else said to. Only put money in investment if you understand it. You know how these people lose their butts on stuff? Because they put money in something they had no idea. They trusted the guy, and his name was Bernie Madoff. They trusted the guy, and he was not a crook, but he was an enthusiastic ignoramus, which, by the way, will screw you more often than actual crooks. People that are enthusiastic ignoramuses. You ever met them? They're enthusiastically stupid. They're telling you the exact wrong thing with great enthusiasm. And you went, well, they're enthusiastic, and they seem to know what they're doing, and so let's just go with that. Instead of you understanding what you need to put your money into. That's how we work with these pro athletes. It's how these pro athletes lose their money. It's how these country music stars and these Hollywood starlets lose their money. We work with them all the time when they hit the wall. I had $10 million. I don't know where it went. Well, it's because you gave it to people and walked off and thought, well, I hope they take care of me. You're like, what do you need, a babysitter? When are you going to be a grown-up? I got me a man, one of the guys at NFL meetings we were in, try to go on those rookie camps and tell those kids that NFL stands for not for long. Average NFL careers are 3.8 years. So I try to explain to him, and the guy's like, I got me a man, Dave. You got you a man? What does that mean, you got you a man? You bought a man with your signing bonus? What do you mean you got a man? What are you talking about? Oh, I got me a money man. He's going to take care of me. Yeah, that's what they say right before they say, I lost all my money and I'm on the cover of Sports Illustrated broke. You gave it to someone else to manage and you did not know what you were doing. If you don't do anything else, just put it in the bank. At least you know where it is. Do not put money in something you do not understand ever. Unless you understand it. And you need to not necessarily go in there knowledgeable, Tiffany, a bit more knowledgeable, but you need to leave a bit more knowledgeable. When you sit down with a SmartVestor Pro, their job is to have the heart of a teacher, not the heart of a salesman, or we don't recommend them. Click SmartVestor at DaveRamsey.com if you want to find one. You sit down. I'm not in that business, but I'm telling you how to do business with them. By the way, the same thing's true with anybody in the financial world. You sit down with an insurance person, they drop their glasses down the end of their nose and act like you're an idiot, fire their butt. Some of these insurance people actually teach intimidation selling as a technique to get you to buy without understanding what you own. You sit down with an attorney and he's doing your estate plan and you're paying him $1 bazillion to do that. His job is to help you understand, not to be condescending. And I've had to explain it to, because they teach condescension at some law schools. It's one of the courses, I think. And I'm just not going, listen, I'm paying you $275 an hour for you to look down your nose hairs at me. You can just stop that crap right now. My net worth 20 times what yours is, so stop it. stupid. Now let's stop and talk through this again. You're here to advise and teach, not be condescending. I don't have any tolerance for that, and you shouldn't either. You're dealing with a real estate agent, and they roll their eyes because you don't like the way a house looks. You got the wrong real estate agent. Their job is to help you find something, not intimidate you into buying something because you're scared of your agent. Oh my gosh. But people do it all the time, don't they? And so these people in these financial realms in particular, insurance, mortgage, real estate, estate planning, certainly investing, you have to demand that they teach you. They teach you. They teach you. Because you have to learn. You don't have to get a master's in business, but you have to learn to the level of sophistication so you don't lose your money. Because it's your fault if you lose your money, not theirs. If you give it to someone and didn't know what it was going into, it's your fault. You were stupid. I've done stupid. I know what stupid looks like. That's how I do this show, because I got a PhD in DUMB. I'm just trying to tell you, don't be stupid. Know what your money's going into or don't put it in there. Good question. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
A minimum of like 47 people have sent me this video being like, we need you guys to react to this video. We need your thoughts on this. Is this true? What's your take? And so Rachel has not seen this. I have seen it, and we're going to get Rachel's kind of blind reaction here. Are you ready for this? I'm not even going to set it up.
I don't even know what's about to happen. So if it's a Friends clip, I'll probably quote it.
It is
if
not.
It's a quote from Notting Hill, I'm probably going to know the scene. I don't know.
It's
so go ahead.
Hot money advice from social media.
Oh, okay.
Get ready.
Rich people help their kids get perfect credit scores long before those kiddos can apply for their own credit card. And it's not even that complicated. I can explain it to you. I'm Vivian, your rich BFF, and your favorite Wall Street girlie who you follow for all the money secrets. As soon as my kid is born, I'm going to set them up as an authorized user on my credit card. As you can see, with the exception of Discover and American Express, most of these credit card issuers don't have a minimum age requirement. This means I will be issued a credit card with their name on it, but I'll be responsible for paying the bill. And you're probably wondering, what does a baby need a credit card for? They don't. Instead of giving the card to them, I'm either going to cut it or I'm just going to put it in a safe location. I will then proceed to make on-time payments on my credit card bill every single month. By doing so, I'll start building good credit for my kid, allowing them to leech onto my good credit. By the time they finish high school, they'll have built a credit history of 18 years and have a score in the high 700s or even 800s. This will help them rent their first apartment or qualify for a great credit card of their own.
Oh my gosh, you know what I just went to, y'all? What if someone watches that on Instagram and they're terrible with money, they put their kid in this situation and they don't pay their bills on time? Does that mean you just screwed your kid's financial future? Like,
ding, 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 ding.
That is so scary to me. Vivian, I've seen her videos and she does have some great videos. I have seen her. She's some stuff she does.
Sharp
yes,
young lady.
But we don't agree the debt thing, which we don't agree with like anyone on social media because I feel like we're the only ones that talk about being debt free for the most part. So I don't agree with all that, but like that's scary to put that out there and trust the American culture who has like average $15,000 of credit
But Rachel,
card debt.
this is what the wealthy do. Okay, this is what the true rich are doing to set their kids up for success.
That literally gave me anxiety. I don't have anxiety. I don't really like anxiety's not my thing, but I just had it. Like, that makes me so sad for kids. Like,
can I tell you, Rachel?
Like anytime I don't trust it, and the fact that yes, okay, hold on, I have so many thoughts. Okay,
hit us.
And then B is like you don't need a credit score, right? Like our thing is like you shouldn't have a credit card anyways. You don't need a credit score. Don't be like trying to like rig the system to get a good credit score because listen, teach your kid to pay for everything with cash, and then when they want a home, they can do manual underwriting and they're fine. So it's unnecessary, number one. Or number two, but number one, she's advising people that most of America's terrible with their credit cards, so like they're gonna screw their kids. Right? Like, is that am I?
You just solved the problem, Rachel. I went to the comment section, and the very first comment was like, "My parents did this to me, and they tanked my credit score by the time I was 18 because they mismanaged money, and now it screwed me over."
Okay, here's a question. I probably shouldn't even get into this, wade in this water, because I don't know. But like I have known two people, not like really close friends, but enough that they've like shared this with me, that their identity was stolen from an aunt and uncle that raised them.
Oh.
And the uncle took right. And I know that this is not stealing your identity, but it is weird that you can put someone's name, on the account. User. Yeah, but like, I don't know.
It creates a whole bunch of future and potential problems. And on paper, she's going, well, yeah, if you do it perfectly, it could work out great for your kid. But there's a much higher probability that you're going to hurt your kid financially 18 years from now, and that creates resentment. And they go, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Oh, I would be pissed if I turned 18 and my parents were like, sorry, we tried to help you, but we got behind here and there, and now you got to dig yourself out of this hole with this credit score because you have a really bad one, even though you've done nothing to it. That you didn't. Do you know how that's?
It's frightening.
That is.
And you talk about how to actually raise your kids when it comes to money in Smart Money, Smart Kids. And there's a lot of simple things you can do that don't involve opening a credit card for a baby. What are we doing, America?
I know. Oh, that's so scary. I know. So we talk about it a lot on this show, but you can try to kind of like beat the system and figure out how to do this, that, and that to win. But when it comes down to it, it is your behavior. What you choose to do with money is how you're going to win. And I think one of the gifts parents can give their kids is teach them how do you handle money and actually show them, hey, you have to work. We're doing this with our kids, or the two girls at least. Charles he's
Sweet
3
Charles.
and he just probably will never. I'll probably just give him money all the time.
He's not already
Boys
invested in the market.
There's just something in my heart about Charles. I'll be like, you can just stay with me forever. But the girls were like, okay, you got to do. Caroline's 5 now, so they're doing chores and they understand. Okay, if I work and do this, and this that we've very much communicated. Then
money
you get
comes from
money,
work.
and they're at the young age where now they're not saving up for anything. They're 5 and 7, so we get to go to Target or a toy store here in Nashville, and they get to spend some of their money in a few weeks, and they love it, and it's great. And then as they get older, you start to teach them, okay, now that you know where money comes from, it comes from work. Now we're going to give, we're going to save, and we're going to spend. Here are 3 things that you can do with money. And under our roof, you're going to practice these things. You're going to make mistakes, and we're going to allow you to make mistakes, and that's great. You're going to get some victories and a little bit of this like dignity of, oh wow, I did that, and you can start to see progress. It's that behavior that you want to instill with your kids because that's what gives them the dignity when they leave home at 18. That they get to go and win because they have the knowledge, and that's my story. People think that some people do. I guess everyone's like, well. You guys are good with money because your dad just gives you money. I'm like, you think Dave Ramsey sends me secret checks in the mail? That would be awesome. If he did, that would be great. He doesn't. But the gift that they gave us as kids is understanding how to do this stuff at 18. And so thank God, we were able to avoid debt and know how to budget, know how to save. And we're not perfect with money, but learning those basics, you get to start that at 18, which is a gift where a lot of people start, 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s.
Because they're way in the hole.
Yeah, because, they didn't know this stuff. But, man, that's the gift you want to give your kids, not trying to, finagle this debt-playing industry and how to work it. And, no, give them the knowledge and the experience, and that's what will take them places.
Absolutely. And so I covered the whole debunking all the credit score myths that she's talking about. You need a credit score to rent an apartment. You need a credit score. And it's just not true. And I'm just tired of us perpetuating these myths that cause people to go into debt, which, by the way, is the only way to create a credit score and maintain one is to do that and pay it off perfectly. Every single factor has to do with debt. And the problem here is that it doesn't set your kid up for financial success. They can still be in a pile of debt when they graduate college because they have their great credit score.
Right.
So if you want to set them up, set up a 529 or an ESA when they're born and do that for 18 years.
Now
and
that's
invest in
right,
it.
that they can go to school and pay for it because of, yes, that's
and
right.
help them start to do a budget and show them how to manage their money wisely as they get their first job and show them that not having debt sets you up. And as we see these new generations come up, I think we're going to see that where they go, oh gosh, they're stressed out because they have all these student loans. I don't want one of those.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Well, there was an article that I read a few weeks ago, and they talked about that even within Gen Z. A lot, there's every generation I know has, the good eggs and the bad eggs in the bunch, but how they're interviewing a couple of them, they said, well, I'm watching my older siblings, millennials, graduate, with 6 figures of debt. They're stressed out because of what's going on when, the COVID shutdown happened. they didn't have savings, and they're like, I don't want to be that.
Yes.
And so there is a little bit of that rebellion of like, whatever that system was that the millennials and the Gen Y and the boomers were trying to play, like, I don't want to do that.
Well,
so
Rachel,
learn. That's great.
We just did a whole episode on Smart Money Happy Hour called Scroll with Caution, How to Spot Bad Money Advice on Social Media. So go check that out wherever you listen to podcasts. Smart Money Happy Hour just released yesterday, and we do a lot of reacts to a lot of money advice out there. Some hot takes and a lot of laughs.
Man, yeah, make sure to check that out. This is The Ramsey Show.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I've kind of gotten myself or my life into a big mess, and I stumbled across your show, and I'm trying to take steps to get out of debt. So I guess I would be in baby step 2.
Good.
Yes. The problem I'm running into is before I came across your show, me and my fiance, I was really big on trying to get us to kind of put our money together and kind of tackle this together. Now that I've kind of came across that, I learned it's a big no-no to put your money together before you are married. And I am the breadwinner of our house. We have 10 people in my home. So we have 5 children, and then I just adopted my nephew, and I have his big brother at my house too. So I'm feeling all of this pressure. I work 2 full-time jobs, and I'm just trying to
What does your fiance
get control. He works a full-time job at the hospital working on hospital equipment.
Okay. What does he earn?
He annually probably about 50.
And
I
what
want
do
to
you
say
earn?
when I looked at his. Last year I made 160.
Doing what now? What do you do?
I'm an ultrasound technician.
You're working a lot then.
I do full-time nights, and then I take call full-time days. So I pretty much do 24-hour
See, the
shifts. 2
of you, and the 2 of you have 5 children?
I had 2 from a previous marriage. Well, not marriage, just relationship. And then I put myself through school as a single mom, and then I got my career, and then I met him, and we got pregnant quickly. And then since then, we've been together for 6 years.
Okay. All right.
And you guys have 3 kids together?
And he's your
We have 3
fiance.
together.
And when are you
We've been
planning?
engaged.
When are you planning to get married?
Well, at first, we put it on hold because my father fell ill, and I was his caretaker. And then we just haven't done it. One, finances. I felt like it was silly to spend money for a wedding.
Well,
But
let me
since
ask you
then,
this. I'm just curious, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything, but you're functioning in every way almost as if you're married now and have been for some time. So what's the difference in that and getting married this weekend for $50?
I'm scared because
What are you scared of? You already have children. You live together. You support him. What is there to be scared of?
my child from another relationship and my nephew that I just got custody of, they're not big fans of him. And
They're
I
not
just
what?
feel like I don't know
Big
if
fans
they're
of
not
him.
fans. Yeah, like I feel like there's red flags. They don't like him. They think I deserve better.
6 years.
Yeah.
2 children. Too late to ask some child their opinion of this guy.
Yeah.
They don't get a
I mean,
vote.
We're in therapy together, working on some relational issues.
Do you feel like you'll be with him long term? I mean, do you want to marry him?
I mean, most of the time I do feel like that, but it's more like we go through the motions of raising our kids. So sometimes I wonder, like, once the kids are grown up, the longevity, if that makes sense. Sometimes it feels like we're in this.
You guys are fabulous can kickers. You've kicked the can, kicked the can, kicked the can, kicked the can, put it off, kick the can, put it off, all these reasons, and then still functioning as if you're married. And the reason I'm bringing all this up is it's not working for you. I'm listening to you, and there's no fun in your voice at all.
I think there's just a lot of fear, and I felt a lot of pressure because he's coming to me now, and he's like, okay, let's put our money together. And I'm like, we're not married.
No, we're going to get married is what we're going to do. Or we're not going to put our money together. And also, if I woke up in your shoes, what would I do? That's how I answer questions here, okay? So my friend Henry Cloud is a famous psychologist, and he wrote a book called Necessary Endings. And he says you end any relationship, whether it's your job, whether it's contact with an extended family who's toxic, whether it's a situation like you're in, whatever the relationship is, you end it only when you lose hope that it can get better and be right. Does that make sense? And so I'm not going to be sitting here this time next year, if I'm you, in this exact same quandary, wondering if this is going to be okay. We're going to get in there with this therapist and go, look, we're going to walk on this really, really hard for 90 days, and we're going to see some serious progress, or I'm going to call this.
Yeah.
That scares you even more, doesn't it?
It scares me because of the children. I don't want a broken home just because we're not.
But you need to decide, don't you? This pain or get off the ladder, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't think the kids are suffering in this situation? Of course they're suffering. They're suffering from all this ambiguity. They don't know what the flip's going on because their mom doesn't know what the flip's going on, and their dad doesn't know what the flip's going on. And we're all just running around in circles trying to make enough money and throw it in the middle of a pot, and we're running a little commune over here, and it's not working relationally. Am I missing something?
Yeah. I think I'm just afraid to get married, and then
You're afraid of not getting married. You're afraid of getting married.
Yeah, I just want to take care of my family, and I think it's,
here's the thing.
Financial-wise, it makes sense for us to get married, but personal.
No, it doesn't. Not if you're not going to be married, because marriage is grand. Divorce is $50,000. No, we don't want to go through that. But you guys relationally need to make a decision. Okay? Are we the two adults in the household going to join forces and then take care of the little people? Or is it best for us and the little people to be separate? But if we're going to join forces, we need to get 6 years, and you guys are dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing. It's, because the other thing is you put all of your financial dreams and everything on hold in the process too. It's very difficult to make progress mathematically in this situation.
Yes.
And that's
I'm struggling with that.
That's what actually prompted your call. And then I got all Papa Dave on you. So, I just downloaded the Every Dollar Budget app, which it's tough for me because my income fluctuates. So I'm struggling. You'll be able to do that really, really easy when the two of you are married, and you can put $210,000 in that puppy and start crunching through this stuff. And you and him are on the same page, and two grown-ups are running this house, not the kids. The kids don't get a vote.
Yeah. Well, it's new for me because he's never wanted to put our money together before. It's always just been very separate.
You don't want to put your money together until you're married, but you guys have got to make a decision about this marriage. You either need to make a decision, we're going to start working very hard on the relationship, and by this point, and that's just
for marriage to be the outcome.
Yeah, marriage is the outcome, or we're going to call this. We're going to break this thing up. We're going to drop a grenade in the middle of it. Because what you're doing, you're telling us. We're not telling you. You're telling us what you're doing. The way you're doing life right now doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid to get married. I'm afraid to break up the house. I'm afraid I can't get traction with the money. I can't get control. This is what you called us and started saying. I'm just repeating it back to you. And so you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity, right?
Yes. And
so that's what you're going to have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to beg you as my new friend that I love, for the sake of you, for the sake of him, for the sake of these kids, you two need to look at each other and look at this therapist and go, okay, we're going to make a decision. And in the next 90 or 120 days, we're going to see such significant progress in this relationship that it's not perfect. There's always going to be some fear.
Yeah.
That's normal. But we're seeing progress to where we have hope enough that we can call this what
for
it
the
is,
future,
a marriage.
Yeah.
And then you put yourselves together, and then you start managing those little people, and you start managing those dollars, and it all starts coming together in a much cleaner way. But You run around trying to mother hen everything from the outside with no connectivity. Doesn't work. And no, you don't combine your money with him until you're married. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My husband and I have been together for 26 years. We have 3 sons, and he worked as a software developer, and I'm a stay-home mom for 20 years. And he handled all the monies, and I take care of the kids. So it worked quite well until 8 years ago. I kind of expect him to step up for our teen son, but that didn't happen. So I wasn't happy, and then our marriage turned south. So and then since then, I'm no longer allowed to know the household finance.
Oh.
He gave me a credit card to buy food and necessity for the kid and, for the family. But I don't know how much he makes anymore. And he doesn't even ask me to sign the tax return filing.
Ooh.
So I really don't know what's going on. And I asked him, during the COVID, he almost died at the hospital. And I asked him, the password to pay the bills on his laptop. And, he refused to do that. And then I had to bring his laptop to the hospital.
Wow.
But then after he got better and he got home, and I told him that, I should know our finance, and just in case if he goes to the hospital again. And he said, he said, I will figure out after he dies.
Oh my gosh.
So, yes. So we have been living like a housemaid, and I take care of the kids, and like a married single mom, and he's like a married bachelor, totally check out. So I don't know what I should do from this point on, and this is my only marriage, and I have, I think this is it for me, but then I don't know how to turn this thing around.
Yeah, Jocelyn, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
How old are your kids?
My oldest one is 18. It's going to be 19, and I have twins. They are going to be 16.
Okay.
So they're probably getting out of the house soon, but
at this point, Jocelyn, from the information you've given us, to me, this is way more of a marriage issue. I think the effect and the symptom is that he's isolated himself with the money, which is a problem in and of itself, but it is a symptom of what's going on from the root of your marriage. And so, like you said, which I would agree, the context clues you've given us is exactly right. You don't have a marriage, right? This is not a relationship where there's a partnership and there's 2 people doing life together. You guys have 2 completely different lives, is what it feels like, and you just happen to live under the same roof.
Well, the problem is I'm the only person live in this country, so I think he see that as I have no support system. So that may be the reason why he can take advantage of my situation, and I have nowhere to go. And I have been, being a stay-home mom for 20 years.
Do you have?
I do.
Do you have friends? Do you have anybody here outside of family that you can trust?
I can talk to anybody, but they're a good listener, but not really. Practically could be helpful, like in the deep situation. But I have a lot of friends I could talk to. They listen to my problem and they understand.
So you're not alone. But
I'm not alone.
Have you voiced this? Aside from like COVID situations where it's really, stressed or extreme, have you had this conversation with him, brought it up, not in the midst of an argument, and just said, hey, here's the way I'm feeling? Have you done that? And what's been the response? If so.
Here's the thing. A lot of the time he's very calm and soft, like quiet. Like if he can counter all the problems, he'll be quiet. Like, basically it's his way that I have to learn to adapt, which I'm very flexible and adaptable, but a lot of the time it's like, this is the way, and maybe he's willing to share the information of the finance. He was able to give me.
Well, he's clearly not, because you don't have it. Yeah, so he's not.
And my worry is that he has a level of control and power over you, Jocelyn, that is so scary and unhealthy, where you have no options or choices. So I think one of the best things you can do is put yourself in a position where you have options and choices. And so where that starts from a tactical standpoint is money. Because like you said, like I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have money. And so it starts to be very, very hard lines for me of, you either give me full access to our money, or there's going to be a more intense step of something else.
Absolutely.
And I think, Jocelyn, I mean, and again, this is your decision. And I always, these calls, I feel like a lot of weight and responsibility because we'll get off with you here in about 3 minutes, Jocelyn, and you're going to have to make these decisions.
Right.
But so what I am sensing and laying out for you, this is life changing. And I want to just be careful of how I even like quote this, but I would be setting myself up possibly for a new life. People stay in marriages where they're unhappy, but it's one thing to be unhappy in a marriage. You go through the ranks, you do what you can. It's another to have no power or control over your own life.
Yeah.
Where they've taken that from you. And I feel like that's what he's done, where you don't have freedom to make even a decision to leave at this point because you have no access to money or information beyond that. So I would be getting myself in a position for you to get access for the money, not only just to heal the marriage, which I hope helps, but it just doesn't, to me, it seems like there's less hope of that turning around and probably more of a reality of you realizing, oh my gosh, I have one life to live. And unless he's willing to do intense work in therapy and us walk through this together, which I would pray that would be the best, that's the best outcome. But would he ever do that? Would he ever go through not for money, but for your marriage, a marriage intensive therapy?
He's very passive.
He's really what?
He's very passive in life. So it's either I am the one who is being the lead and plan for everything for the household, or nothing get done.
Well, if you planned it and said, I have a therapist and I want to go every Tuesday for the next 9 months with you at 3:00 every Tuesday, would he go?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I
don't know if I want that either.
Why?
I don't know, because it's to me, I have so much accumulation of the grief, anger, or it's I don't know. I mean,
it's a lot. Listen, what you're saying is, I think I get what you're saying. Like, you don't want to open the can of worms, right? Like, there's a lot there. And the truth is, when you do go through therapy, it's almost like it creates more work for you to do, more to work through. It's not just like a quick fix, right? It's going to create more and more.
The work is on me, so it's like constantly. So that's what the majority of the problem is.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I were you, Jocelyn, you need somebody, I think a professional in your corner, and go get individual work for you. Because like you said, you're harboring and holding a lot in life towards him, which makes complete sense why. And then I think over time, it's going to get more and more clear of what you need to do, either pressing more into the marriage or not. But I would be making some hard lines to at least have access to the money. You have to have that. In my head, I mean, that needs to be your first step.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.